Yes, this is Kung Fu. Thank you very much. That's a Qigong set. This is iron palm training, conditioning of the fist. Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate it. What am I hitting? I was hitting cotton bag, regular cotton bag, and what is inside is depending on your level. When you first start, you start with rice. Start with rice or beans. I have the video on my playlist if you want to start iron palm training, or if you're curious about it, check out my playlist on my channel. Show some support. It's for free. It depends what kind of conditioning you do. There's different methods. Some people practice iron palm and it looks like their hand hasn't hit anything before because maybe they're doing it wrong, or maybe it's a different method. When you start iron palm training, your palm, it's going to get a little bigger, of course. The side of the hand also gets bigger. Everything gets a little bigger, especially if you're doing wrist as well. But it's not the muscle. It's not the muscle. How long have I been doing iron palm? Almost 4 years. And at this level, with the granite stone, you don't do it every day. But when you first start, from the other elements, you have to do it every day if you want any real progress. hitting any part too hard first is not recommended. Mr. Insanity Beast, your name lets me know your state of mind already, my friend. I've done multiple arts. I've done boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, Kung Fu, Jeet Kune Do, Sambo. So I like to mix it up. What's bad? Conditioning your elbows? This stuff goes before Muay Thai. It goes into monkey boxing, Hanuman boxing, Kung Fu, monkey Kung Fu. Conditioning your forearms, your elbows, your shins. Of course, your hands as well. Almost any part of your body, but you need the right methods. If you want to fight, go to a boxing class or MMA gym. Yes, this is where I learned to fight, my friend. And I never said I wanted to fight. Kudos on being presumptuous. You can almost condition any part of your body. Look at the Shaolin monks. Real Shaolin monks, not showmen. If it really hurt, I couldn't keep doing it. Especially the back fist. Do you know how sensitive the back fist is? No, I have not deadened anything. You don't want to kill anything. Okay? You want to make sure you have all feelings in your hand. Just because I feel it doesn't mean it's hurting though, because this is what the protection is all about. You have to build the protection. Thank you guys for the likes. Appreciate that. Check out my playlist if you want to start iron palm training or you just want to know more. I explain everything. If you want to hit harder, you can just do decline knuckle push-ups. But it is one benefit after, of course. Actually, I already posted somebody who's a pro fighter in Australia on my posts, not my playlist. If you go on my posts, you go down, there's a video on YouTube showing a pro boxer doing iron palm training. Not exactly this level with the granite, but they're actually doing iron palm training. This is an ancient Shaolin skill though. This is not going to be in your boxing gym. Okay? There's only echoes of that, which is like brick knuckle push-ups, or sometimes they get a stick and they condition your abdomen, right? They're hitting you, but again, there's no medicine. Internal injuries are very common for those sorts of things. Just start it at the proper level and don't rush. Check out my playlist. I already have the video how to start it. Somebody said, does rushing will do something? It will do something. You're gonna get some quick benefits, but then you're gonna get some health issues as well. That's why when people do this very fast, they excel too quickly, they hit too hard because they think that's the way. Their fingers, they become straight. They can't even open their fingers straight. They start to get rheumatoid arthritis after 6 months. Well, you shouldn't fight strangers because you don't know if they really have a knife or a gun either. I'd say that's even more extreme. No, please don't rush. Actually, somebody from this stream told me that they started with the stone, which I never recommended, and they said they damaged their hands. So I didn't know that I need to put a disclaimer to not do this. I would think people have, enough common sense not to hit a granite stone without proper instructions. But this is an 18 plus live stream. It's at your own risk. Please filter it through your mind. I'm not a boxer, but I do box. I love boxing. But I'm not a pure boxer because to box is amazing, but it's very limited. Especially when you bend down, you catch a nice knee to the face. Let me see. Slapping it with soft parts of your hand, you're not strengthening anything. Yeah, you use your palm, you use your back fist, and the side of the hand. I'm very sorry for your ignorance, though, my friend. What a shame. And somebody that says you can't do a palm strike doesn't know really much about fighting. What style of Kung Fu? I've started with Wing Chun. I don't practice that anymore. And I do monkey boxing and Qigong. Soft Qigong and hard Qigong. Also, I know a little bit of Shiniba. The stone, the actual rock, I've been using for almost 2 years. But in general, iron palm, because you don't start with a stone, 4 years. Generally, each level takes you about 1 year, depending on how diligent you are. Do you use the iron palm training bag? I don't know what that is. Are you talking about? You talking about these kinds of bags, the cotton bags? That comes before the stone. Yes, of course. I used it right before I started this. So if you rewind, that's what I used to warm up. But when you start it, that's already your training because that's full of marble. Granite marble. Why did I stop Wing Chun? Because it's not as effective as people hype it. And I'm sorry, people waste 20 years in that, 15 years. Within 5 years, if you practice diligently, you should finish Chumkyu, or sorry, Sunam Tao, Chumkyu, and Buji. You should know the wooden dummy. There's nothing else. There's no internal, okay? There's no internal cultivation. There's no Qigong breathing. The only hardening you do is on the dummy, and that still doesn't cover your elbows, your shins. You don't really have hand conditioning. You only do forearm strikes to condition the forearm. And if anybody does have a conditioning method, they got it from another system, okay? And they incorporated it in their system. Wing Chun is very limited, but again, it was meant to be learned in 3 years. If you're training every day, living with the Sifu in the ancient times. Other than that, if you're just doing it on a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday class, of course, that'll take you 3 to 5 years. From palm conditioning, within the first month, you're going to feel your hand is going to be different. But again, be diligent and keep going. Nobody's reading that long paragraph. Use your finger powers for more than just typing, my friend. Let's see. What else? What else am I going to do today? I already ran errands and I'm snowed in, so I'm actually at home. I ran errands before the snowstorm. Thanks for the likes. Check out my playlist. Support the channel, guys. It's all for free. I don't charge any memberships or any crap like that. Why don't I do strength training? I do strength training. Again, very great for the presumptuousness. I've used the Makiwara since but I don't use it all the time. Makiwara is good. Makiwara is good. The problem is, the reason why you say that it can cause damage is because, again, they go too hard, too fast, and there is no acupressure massage, there is no qigong, there is no liniment rub, medicine for your hands. This is all a complete kung fu system. That's why when you start training this stuff, please do your research. Don't just start hitting and saying, yeah, I'm going to take some supplements and my body's going to recover. What do you use in a street fight? I don't do street fights, brother. Any kind of street altercation, the first thing you need to know is if there is no way to run, then you hit first and you hit hard. What after Wing Chun? What did I do after? I went to kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing, Jeet Kune Do, Sambo, Jiu-Jitsu. I started learning these different arts because unfortunately Wing Chun talks down on a lot of that. No one's talking about firearms, kiddo. Yeah, no rules in the street fight. You have no idea how effective a headbutt can be. When somebody comes up to you and they want to do that pushing forehead thing, you just headbutt them very quickly. And at least they can have a bleeding nose and something to think about if they don't fall right down right away. Okay, these are easy things. But again, you don't know if he has another friend or two. So that's why I say there's no profit to fight in the street. But wrestling is very effective, especially if you just body lock somebody and take them down. Should I start BJJ? Most people say it's the best. Of course, BJJ is good, but you can't ever forget there was a person called the Gracie Hunter who was not a practitioner of BJJ. So you can't just say BJJ is the best. You know, I like personally Sambo more. Sambo is a more complete system because it has striking, grappling, and submissions. But Jiu-Jitsu is more of a tactician, a specialist. But again, after 5 years, those guys, they need surgeries to continue. Okay? To get to the black belt level, they already may have had an ACL, a back surgery, you know. They're on some heavy painkillers. That's not a very profitable thing for me. Do I like Muay Thai? Yes, I like Muay Baran better though. But to answer your question, of course, start BJJ, start learning the basics, start learning what it is to roll, what it is to have pressure on you, what it's like to feel choked out. A lot of people don't even know that. Judo is the best. Again, that's a very narrow-minded view. Judo is a great accompany art. If you have wrestling, judo, and BJJ with a little striking, you are almost a god amongst men. But judo by itself is please stop it. Do you just want to train? Do you also want to compete? No, brother, I've been training. I've just been training for my passion. This is what I love to do. The recovery methods for this is different. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, when you start training the basic bag with the rice, you don't need that much recovery. When you start hitting wood, it becomes a different thing. When you start hitting stone, that is already a complete different thing. Yes, the Japanese are doing some very cool things with the kickboxing in general, mixing it up with the Kyokushin. Very effective. Aikido, I wouldn't train Aikido. My Wing Chun master was an Aikido black belt actually, and he stopped. I like wrestling, but I'm better in striking. Yeah, but it's great to know wrestling. If somebody really grabs you, you already have the sensitivity training. You know what to do. My friend, it's 2025. We're almost in 2026. Please detox your mind. Corn is not the only way of life. I know that's your self-projection. I don't know who that is. Savkat. What am I training for? I've been training for this already 13 years. Kung Fu. I love it. I can't tell you why I have this urge. But I can tell you it's a lot better than hanging around doing nothing. That's what a lot of people's hobbies are these days. Scrolling on TikTok. I'd rather just train. I'm from Canada. No, you can't train yourself. You need somebody on the outside looking in, no matter how good you think you are. Yes, I condition my shins and forearms, of course. I have my latest video, you can check it out, showing how I condition the forearms. I myself learning Muay Thai, I'm 24 years old, and I can wrestle like a grizzly bear. That's amazing. Put your hands in petrol. Yes, put your hands in a neurotoxin substance. That sounds amazing. What is your opinion on Indians? Have you... I think you train Kung Fu because in other life you did a lot. I agree with that. I've done street fighting since I was 9. You've done street fighting. Interesting. Where was this organization? Or do you just mean you got in a lot of trouble as a kid? You only lost 7 fights. So what is your record? 107? You shouldn't be proud of street fighting, my friend. If you start martial arts, you'll know how stupid you were because you're around skilled people. What's going on, bro? Houston. Shout out Houston. Okay, that's a different story. If you get jumped and you have to fight, that's different. Ask yourself this, the alpha zone. Boxers, never mind UFC fighters. UFC is 4-ounce gloves. Boxers have 8 to 10-ounce gloves with wraps, and they still get broken hands. So you ask yourself, would that be beneficial? And you don't need this kind of conditioning for that. This is a deeper level. This is a this is completely different. You can start with just rice in a bag. Okay, I have the video up already. You can try that. Do your fingertip push-ups, do your wrist push-ups, do your knuckle push-ups, and you already have a lot of prevention for injury. Just hit the nuts. Yeah, Jeet Kuno. I haven't done conditioning for so long. Any tips for me to get started again? Conditioning, time, and methods. Mr. Pagan, check out my playlist on my channel. Support the channel. All the videos are for free. All I ask is to watch it and like it. You broke both hands. That's not the way to get your bones stronger. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Your body has two functions: osteoclast, osteoblast. So your bones got stronger. But this type of training doesn't just train your bones. I would never punch metal doors, bricks, and walls because what are you doing? Don't ever do those things, my friend, please. You need to understand you have special methods for this kind of training. Bro, does grip training play a role in fighting? Of course, my friend. You said you do wrestling, so you should know that grip training, you have your collar ties, okay? You grab your arm sleeves, even just the neck, pulling of the neck. All these things require certain grip strength and endurance. Thank you, my friend, Mr. Dot. Exactly. You know. I don't know where you got that from, but I can I can guess. Hard strikes to soft targets, soft strikes to hard targets. That is an ancient principle. That's why if you condition even this knuckle, or especially this knuckle, or all of these, you can do a lot of damage. Mr. Gucci, you can message me. Okay, my Instagram is right there on my page. If your life depends on breaking a stone, well, you wouldn't use your hands. How long does it take? Again, I do this 4 to 5 days out of the week. So it's not about how long. It's just about the fact that you need the medicine and you need to know acupressure massage points. You would use your feet. Yeah, I know about this how. That's funny. That's why people ask, what am I putting on my hands? You need to understand that it's not just about hitting a stone. And this is not petroleum oil. How good will I get? I can't answer that. One of the strongest ones. Yeah. Yeah, the mace bell is very beneficial. Someone said, what can I do to stop flinching? So you have to spar and do some dynamic pad work. Okay, where the coach throws out certain strikes, just get used to that. But sparring is what gets rid of that. You get comfortable. Start light. Yeah, the mace bell is so good, man. Yes, I'm a southpaw, brother. Okay, guys, that's enough for today. Thank you so much. Check out my playlist, support the channel. Have a great day.